Chosen one, there are moments in the fabric of time when heaven leans closer to the earth, when the invisible realm begins to tremble with divine movement, and when your soul begins to stir before you even understand why. The days may seem ordinary, but something in your spirit already knows that you are standing on holy ground. You feel it in the stillness before dawn, in the whisper of the wind, in the way your heart has been uneasy lately. Like something deep within you knows that the story is about to turn, and it is. October 15, 2025 will not be just another day. It will be a day marked by heaven, a day when divine promises collide with human destiny, when the quiet years of endurance begin to make sense, and when everything that has been locked away in the shadows begins to move toward the light. You are not imagining this stirring. You are not losing your mind. You are sensing the nearness of a miracle that has been waiting for you. For too long you have walked through seasons of silence, through nights that seemed to have no end, through prayers that echoed back unanswered. You've wondered if God had forgotten your name, if heaven's gates were closed to your cries, if the dreams you once held so dearly had withered in the waiting. But chosen one, the waiting was never punishment, it was preparation. The silence was not neglect, it was sacred construction. God was not withholding the promise from you. He was shaping you into the kind of person who could hold it without losing your soul. You see, destiny is not fragile, it is fierce, and it requires a vessel that has been refined by fire. Every tear you shed was a baptism. Every loss you endured was a lesson. Every disappointment was a doorway disguised as a dead end. And now, after all this time, after all the breaking, something divine is about to break through for you. There will be signs in the days leading up to that moment, quiet yet undeniable. You will begin to see numbers that repeat, coincidences that are too precise to be random, dreams that echo what you've prayed for in secret. Some people around you will sense that something is shifting in your life, though they won't be able to explain it. The atmosphere will feel charged with expectation, and your spirit will awaken with a strange peace. Not the peace that comes from everything being perfect, but the peace that comes from knowing you are exactly where you're meant to be. Because on October 15, heaven will speak louder than doubt, and you will see that all along, your story was being written by hands that do not fail. The alignment will not be subtle. It will be divine orchestration at its finest. Things that once resisted you will begin to open. People who once overlooked you will begin to recognize your light. Paths that were blocked will clear, and chains that held you will break without warning. For what God is about to do in your life cannot be stopped by the schemes of man, nor can it be delayed by the fears that haunted your nights. You have felt misunderstood because your calling was never meant to be understood by those who have not been chosen for it. The isolation you've endured was not rejection, it was protection. You were hidden for a season so you could be revealed in God's time. Every time you tried to fit in and couldn't, it was heaven's way of telling you that you were never meant to blend. You are salt, you are light, you are a storm dressed in peace. You have been carrying a calling that requires separation before revelation. You have felt the loneliness, the divine frustration, the ache of being unseen, but hear me, the unseen years were not wasted years. They were the soil in which your strength took root. While you thought you were buried, you were actually being planted, and what was planted in pain is about to bloom in power. October 15, 2025 will be a day when seeds sown in faith begin to bear fruit. For some, it will come in the form of breakthrough, for others in clarity, in divine connection, in opportunity, in restoration. But for you, chosen one, it will be all of these wrapped in divine timing. The waiting has been long because the blessing is great. God was aligning not just circumstances but hearts and nations, people and timing, moments and meaning. He was arranging your steps so that everything would fall into place with supernatural precision. What once took years will happen in days. What once seemed impossible will become inevitable. The doors that refuse to open will swing wide, and you will not have to chase what is yours. It will find you, because destiny recognizes its own. Do not be afraid if life begins to shake before that day comes. The tremors are signs that the old structures are crumbling to make way for the new. What looks like chaos is creation in disguise. God often dismantles what is comfortable before he delivers what is divine. The things that fall apart now are not your losses. They are your liberation. Do not fight to hold what is leaving. Instead, open your hands and trust that what is meant for you cannot slip away. You will not miss what was never yours, and you will not lose what was ordained to stay. You are being refined for revelation, prepared for purpose, strengthened for your season of manifestation. And when the day arrives, something within you will rise that has been dormant for too long. You will feel it in your chest, a warmth, a surge of peace and power, a knowing that cannot be explained but cannot be denied. It will feel as though heaven has exhaled in your direction, and suddenly everything heavy will begin to lift. You will wake up that morning and feel lighter, clearer, stronger. The sky may look the same, but your spirit will know that something sacred is shifting. And it will. What was blocked will flow, what was dark will brighten, and what was delayed will finally deliver. It will not be by your effort, but by divine appointment. And you will know that every prayer, every tear, every lonely night was worth it. Chosen one, this is your appointed time. This is not coincidence, it is convergence. The same God who guided you through storms is about to crown you with purpose. You are stepping into a season where your pain will preach, your scars will shine, and your story will serve as proof that God is faithful. The world will not recognize you at first because they remember who you were, not who you have become. But you will not need their validation because heaven has already spoken your name. You are not rising to impress man. You are rising to fulfill a divine plan. You will walk into rooms that once felt too big and realize they were always meant for you. You will speak words that carry weight because they were forged in fire. You will touch lives, shift atmospheres, and awaken faith in others simply by being who you are. Do not look back with regret, for every wound carried wisdom, every loss carried direction, every delay carried divine redirection. You have not missed your moment, you have been molded for it. And now, as heaven draws near, your soul is awakening to the truth that has always been written over your life. You were chosen for such a time as this. When others gave up, you pressed on. When others doubted, you believed. When others broke, you bent but did not bow. That resilience was not weakness, it was proof of divine favor. You have endured storms that would have destroyed others because there is an unbreakable spirit within you. That spirit is rising now, ready to embrace what is coming. On October 15, 2025, something big will happen, not just around you but within you. The shift will not only be external, it will be internal, spiritual, eternal. The person you have been becoming in private will finally step into the light. The version of you that was hidden in the ashes will rise from them, radiant and renewed. You will not just witness change, you will become change. You will not just receive blessings, you will become a blessing. And those who once doubted you will be silenced not by your words but by your transformation. You will walk with a new authority because heaven's oil will rest upon you. You will speak and doors will open. You will pray and chains will break. You will move and mountains will shift. For when heaven ordains a moment, nothing in earth or hell can oppose it. But do not mistake this as a call to wait passively. No, chosen one, this is a call to prepare. To rise each morning with gratitude and expectation. To purify your heart of bitterness and fear. To release grudges that anchor you to old seasons. To align your actions with your faith. To forgive, to love, to serve, to stay humble. Preparation is proof of belief. So act as though the promise is already on its way, because it is. Clean your space, clear your mind, center your soul. Speak life into your days. Declare abundance, peace, and divine favor. Walk with quiet confidence, knowing that heaven is conspiring for your good. When the date arrives, you will not be scrambling, you will be ready. Ready to receive, ready to rise, ready to walk into everything that was once beyond reach. And when the shift happens, do not shrink. Do not apologize for the magnitude of the blessing. You have paid the price of pain for this promotion of purpose. You have been faithful in the famine, now you will flourish in the feast. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. Stand tall in your truth. Let the world see what it looks like when God fulfills His promises. Let your life become a living sermon of grace, a testimony of divine timing, a symphony of hope played through the instrument of your endurance. Because you are not just receiving a breakthrough, you are becoming a breakthrough. There will be people who will not understand how or why it happened for you. Let them wonder, let them talk, let them question. You owe no explanation for divine intervention. God's favor is not fair, it is faithful. The same ones who watched you suffer will soon watch you soar. But do not hold bitterness, bless them, bless those who hurt you. Forgive those who doubted you, release those who betrayed you. For forgiveness is freedom, and you cannot carry the weight of resentment into your promised season. Walk light, walk free, walk ready, because the blessing that is coming does not coexist with heaviness, it thrives in peace. Something big will happen on that day, and when it does, you will know that it was never random. Every battle, every heartbreak, every lonely prayer was pointing you to this divine intersection. Heaven has been watching, waiting, orchestrating, aligning. The same God who called you by name before you were born has already written this chapter. And when it unfolds, it will feel as though time stands still for a moment. You will feel the presence of peace so profound that words will fail you. Tears will flow not from sadness, but from recognition that God remembered you, that the delay was never denial, that your faith was not wasted. And you will whisper, It was all worth it, because it will be. This is your season to believe again, to rise again, to love again, to expect again. Do not let the shadows of your past dim the brightness of your future. The dawn is coming, and with it your divine unveiling. October 15, 2025, will be the moment heaven's promise meets your preparation. You will see it, feel it, live it. And once it happens, there will be no going back. You will walk differently, speak differently, think differently, because you will have seen the goodness of God with your own eyes. Your faith will no longer be theory, it will be testimony. So, chosen one, lift your head, straighten your spine, breathe deeply. You have been carried by grace all this time, and grace has not brought you this far to abandon you now. The winds are shifting, the veil is thinning, the promise is near. Keep your heart soft, your mind clear, and your spirit ready. The countdown has already begun in heaven. The stars are aligning. The angels are preparing, the promise is in motion, and when that day dawns you will stand not as a victim of circumstance but as a vessel of victory. Something big is coming, something holy, something that will make sense of everything that never did, and when it arrives, you will finally understand why the battle was so fierce. Because the blessing was so big. You are chosen, you are called, you are ready, and the heavens are about to confirm it. Chosen one, before a divine moment unfolds in your life, the atmosphere often begins to tremble. The spiritual world becomes active in ways the natural eye cannot see. You may have felt this in recent weeks. The sudden waves of emotion, the restlessness in your soul, the vivid dreams that seem too clear to ignore. You might not understand why you've been feeling a pull in your spirit, why you sense both excitement and unease at once, why you find yourself reflecting deeply on who you've become and who you are yet to be. That is not coincidence. That is heaven preparing you for the unveiling. When something big is on its way, God first awakens your awareness. He does not want you to walk into your promise half asleep. He shakes your spirit until you open your eyes and see that what's been written for you is finally making its way from eternity into time. You have walked through years that felt like deserts, and you thought the silence meant God had forgotten you. But silence is not absence. It is the sound of construction. Every unanswered prayer was being answered in the background in places you couldn't yet see. When you were pleading for doors to open, God was building the house behind the door. When you begged for clarity, He was rewriting the script of your life so it would no longer be defined by confusion. You may not have seen the hands of heaven at work, but now the evidence is rising. The shifts, the alignments, the inner awakenings, they are all signs that the promise is near. You are stepping into divine timing, where what once felt far is suddenly within reach. You are not waiting for something random. You are standing on the threshold of prophecy made personal. And chosen one, as the moment draws closer, the pressure may increase. That is because every great birth requires labor. You are birthing a new version of yourself, one that cannot fit into the patterns of the past. You may notice relationships fading, doors closing, emotions surfacing. Do not fight it. The shaking is necessary. God is making space for what must come. The ones who cannot walk with you into your next chapter will find reasons to distance themselves. The situations that once defined you will begin to dissolve. What once satisfied you will no longer do so. You will feel the call to release, to cleanse, to simplify. This is not loss, it is transformation. You are not being stripped of what you need, you are being prepared to receive what you prayed for. What feels like emptiness is the space required for abundance to enter. Trust it. There will come a moment soon, perhaps when you least expect it, when you will look around and realize you are no longer who you were. The bitterness will have softened into gratitude. The fear will have melted into faith. The questions that once tormented you will fade into peace. That is the power of divine timing. It transforms without permission. It does not ask if you are ready, it declares that you are. And when that happens, your past will no longer have power over you. The things that once broke you will no longer define you. The shame that once silenced you will lose its voice. The chains that once bound your spirit will be shattered. You will rise not in arrogance but in holy confidence. You will walk not with pride but with purpose. You will speak not from ego but from encounter. You will know that you have entered a new dimension of grace when you no longer need validation for what you carry. You will no longer chase acceptance because you will finally realize you were chosen long before anyone's opinion could matter. That realization will bring freedom, pure, unshakable freedom. You will not compete, you will not compare, you will not beg for recognition. You will simply become. You will embody peace, radiate power, and walk in favor that cannot be explained. People will ask what changed, and you will smile because you will know that it was not change. It was revelation. You finally remembered who you are. You finally believe the words heaven has been whispering to you all along. You were chosen before the foundation of the world. When the clock turns and the day of divine alignment arrives, you will feel the sacredness in the air. Time will seem slower, lighter, holier. The day will carry an unfamiliar stillness, as if creation itself pauses to watch heaven fulfill its promise. You will wake that morning with clarity. You will breathe differently. You will notice beauty in the smallest things, and you will feel gratitude swelling in your chest like a wave. Do not ignore that feeling, let it wash over you. That is the sound of your soul recognizing that the waiting is over. And when it happens, do not be surprised if you cry. Tears are heaven's language. They speak when words cannot. They will pour out of you not because of sadness but because of release. The years of holding, the years of hoping, the years of wondering will all meet in that moment, and your spirit will finally exhale. But listen carefully, chosen one. When your breakthrough arrives, remain grounded. Blessings carry responsibility. Do not let the applause of others make you forget the stillness that shaped you. The same humility that kept you in the valley will sustain you on the mountain. Remember who carried you there. Remember the nights when you had nothing but faith, the days when you walked alone yet kept believing. Let gratitude be your crown. Let compassion be your robe. Because this blessing is not just for you, it is through you. God raises chosen ones not just to shine but to serve. You are being elevated so others may see what endurance, faith, and grace look like in human form. Let your success become someone else's survival story. Let your light lead others out of their darkness. And if fear whispers that you are not ready, silence it with truth. You were never meant to feel ready. You were meant to trust. The same hand that carried you through storms will guide you through abundance. The same God who sustained you in struggle will steady you in success. You will not lose yourself, for you have already been found. This is not the beginning of pride. It is the continuation of purpose. Every moment of your past, no matter how painful, has been rewritten into purpose. You will see that even your wounds were strategic. They carved depth into you. They gave you empathy, humility, strength. They taught you how to love without condition and believe without evidence. You are not defined by what broke you. You are defined by what you became after. As the appointed day approaches, heaven is aligning divine intersections, people, places, and opportunities that will carry your next chapter forward. Some will come into your life suddenly, and they will feel familiar, as if your souls have known each other forever. They are destiny connections, not coincidences. Treat them with reverence. And just as some are being sent, others are being removed. Do not cling to what God is clearing. You cannot carry old energy into new blessings. Let the departures happen without bitterness. When people leave without explanation, trust that heaven whispered to them first. Sometimes protection comes disguised as separation. The pruning precedes the power, and when it all begins to unfold, when the phone call comes, when the opportunity appears, when the healing manifests, when the unexpected door opens, do not panic. You are not lucky, you are prepared. You are not unworthy, you are chosen. The things you thought would take a lifetime will happen suddenly. The breakthroughs you gave up on will manifest easily. It will not be by your striving, but by divine momentum. Everything that resisted you will yield, everything that fought you will fall, and everything that belongs to you will recognize your name. You will stand in awe, and heaven will whisper, "See, I told you I would do it, chosen one." The coming days are not to be feared, they are to be embraced. You are not entering chaos, you are stepping into calling. And though the world may look uncertain, your purpose is sure. You were not placed here by accident. You were planted here by design. You carry answers for problems yet unsolved, light for places still dark, and faith for generations yet unborn. That is why you survived. That is why the enemy tried to break you so many times. Because he knew that if you ever stood in your truth, the world would change. And now you are standing, you are rising, you are becoming. On October 15, 2025, you will not just witness something big, you will be something big. You will be a living revelation of faith fulfilled. Your life will shift dimensions. The invisible will become visible, the delayed will be delivered, and the impossible will bow. It will be more than a moment. It will be the dawn of a new era in your soul. And from that day forward, nothing will ever be the same again. You will walk with clarity, speak with conviction, and love with courage. You will live not as a seeker of miracles, but as a carrier of them. You will know that you are not merely chosen for a blessing. You are chosen to be a blessing, and the world will see God through you. So lift your head, chosen one. The light is near, the promise is unfolding, heaven is moving in your favor, and time is bending to meet you. You have been patient, you have been faithful, you have endured, and now at last your due season has arrived. Let go of fear, release resistance, breathe. The day heaven wrote for you before you were born is about to arrive. Something big is coming, and it has your name written all over it. Be still, believe, and prepare to stand in awe when the impossible becomes your reality. Because when God moves, nothing, no man, no doubt, no darkness, can stand in his way, and this time he is moving for you. Chosen one, the hour draws closer, and your soul can feel the trembling of destiny beneath your feet. There are moments when heaven writes something so profound into the story of a person's life that even the air around them begins to shift. The days begin to feel charged with divine electricity, and your dreams begin to echo with a message you cannot quite translate, but you feel it, you know it. The wind seems to carry whispers of things long promised, and your heart beats with a rhythm that is not your own. This is not just anticipation, it is alignment. The heavens have set a date with your destiny, and your spirit is already rehearsing for its unveiling. Every breath, every heartbeat, every tear that ever fell from your eyes has been building toward this moment in time. October 15th, 2025 will not simply arrive, it will happen to you. It will enter your life like sunrise after centuries of night, and you will remember what it means to be chosen by a God who never breaks his word. You may have noticed how the old world around you has begun to lose its hold. Things that once mattered now seem irrelevant. Conversations that once drew you in now feel empty. This detachment is not confusion. It is ascension. Your soul is rising beyond the frequencies of the ordinary because it is preparing for divine revelation. You cannot carry the noise of your old self into the sound of your new season. That's why silence has become your companion, why solitude has been wrapping itself around you. It is not loneliness, it is sacred separation. The chosen are always pulled apart before they are put on display. The sculptor must remove the excess stone before the masterpiece can be revealed. You are not being undone, you are being refined. You are not breaking down, you are breaking open. And soon what has been hidden will be unveiled. The prayers that have been trapped in your chest will find their voice. The dreams you buried because they hurt too much to hold will rise again, clothed in divine timing. You will see that not a single tear was wasted. Not a single season was meaningless. Every valley you crawled through became the foundation for your mountain. Every loss you endured built the capacity to carry joy without arrogance. Every closed door redirected you toward the gate that was made specifically for your name. You will begin to understand that the path was not crooked, it was custom. You were not delayed, you were designed. And the design of God never fails. There will be moments leading to that day when your spirit feels waves of emotion that come from nowhere. You will find yourself overwhelmed with peace in one moment and tears in another. That is your inner being syncing with heaven's calendar. The angels have begun their movements. The energy around you has shifted. You might feel called to rest, to pray, to create, to forgive, to release. Do not resist these urges, they are instructions from the divine. When heaven is about to move, God begins to whisper directions to your soul. You may not hear them in words, but you will feel them in your heart. Follow that feeling. It is the compass of the chosen. It will not lead you astray. You have suffered enough in silence, questioning if your story still mattered. You have watched others rise while you remained in the shadows, wondering if your light had burned out. But the truth, beloved, is that your light was not gone. It was hidden. God hid you not because you were unworthy, but because you were unfinished. He was preparing a stage that could hold your glory without it collapsing under its weight. You were not overlooked, you were being reserved for the appointed hour. And now that hour is near. October 15 will not simply mark a day, it will mark a dawning of vision, of power, of renewal. You will no longer survive on faith alone, you will walk in fulfillment. You will no longer hope for signs, you will become one. The evidence of God's promise will no longer be something you read about. It will be something you live within. When the divine moment comes, there will be no thunderous announcement. Instead, it will come wrapped in peace. You will know it by the quiet certainty that fills your bones. It will not need explanation, for your soul will recognize it instantly. Something inside you will whisper, "This is it." The waiting will dissolve. The struggle will quiet. You will see doors open effortlessly. Conversations align perfectly. Resources appear precisely when needed. And you will realize that God was never late. He was simply waiting for your spirit to mature into the moment. You were not ready before. Not because you lacked faith, but because you needed depth. And now that you have it, the promise can stand upon it. Do not be surprised when people you once leaned on begin to fall away before the blessing manifests. Some cannot go where you are going. Some cannot understand what you carry. Do not grieve the exits. Celebrate them quietly. Release them with love, for their departure makes room for divine replacements. God never takes without intending to multiply. The pruning you experience before your breakthrough is proof that fruit is near. You will not lose what is necessary, you will only lose what no longer fits your becoming. This is the divine trade-off, the surrender of the temporary for the arrival of the eternal. And when it all happens, when the signs converge, when the promises unfold, when your eyes see what your heart has held for so long, pause. Take a breath. Look to heaven and remember how far you've come. Remember the nights when you thought it was over, the days when you almost gave up, the moments when you felt unseen. Those were not wasted, they were sacred. They were the soil in which your roots grew deep enough to hold the weight of what is coming. You will understand then that the same pain that tried to destroy you was actually protecting you. It taught you discernment. It built your resilience, it drew you closer to God. You will see that nothing was against you, it was all for you. After that day your life will not return to normal, because normal cannot contain what is divine. You will walk differently, see differently, speak differently. You will no longer crave validation, for you will have tasted authenticity. You will no longer chase signs, for you will have become one. You will know what it means to live in rhythm with heaven, to move with grace, to breathe purpose with every inhale. The people around you will sense it too. They will feel the shift in your energy, the authority in your presence. You will not need to announce it, the light will do it for you. Those who once doubted will now bear witness. Those who once ignored will now listen. Those who once left will now watch from afar as God completes what He began in you. But remember this, chosen one, the blessing is not the end, it is the beginning. The purpose of divine manifestation is not your comfort but your calling. When God blesses you, it is not to make you superior, it is to make you useful. The gifts, the abundance, the breakthroughs that come are tools, not trophies. Use them to lift others, to heal, to inspire, to awaken. Speak truth into those who have forgotten theirs. Love those who cannot yet love themselves. Shine so brightly that others find their way through your light. That is the ultimate purpose of being chosen, not just to rise but to raise others with you. You have been faithful with little and now you are about to be entrusted with much. But do not forget the quiet strength that brought you here. Keep humility close, for it keeps the heart pure. Keep gratitude alive, for it keeps the spirit open. Keep compassion burning, for it keeps the soul soft. The world does not need another chosen one who shines for themselves, it needs a chosen one who shines for others. You are that vessel, you have been prepared for this. You are not stepping into success, you are stepping into service. And as that day draws near, be still in your preparation. Do not rush what heaven is refining, move in faith, not in fear. Speak as if the miracle is already moving toward you, because it is. Every step you take, every prayer you whisper, every act of kindness you show, each one is building momentum. Heaven measures faith not by how loud you speak it, but by how quietly you live it. So live it now. Live as if the breakthrough has already begun, because chosen one, it already has. The world may not recognize the magnitude of what's coming, but creation itself does. Even now it leans in anticipation. The air feels different for a reason. The stillness you feel before dawn is not emptiness, it is expectancy. All of heaven is preparing to echo with joy over your life. And when that day comes, when October 15 dawns, you will finally see what the angels have known all along, that you were never forsaken, never forgotten, never too late, never too small. You were chosen, and the time of your revealing has come. And when you stand in the middle of your answered prayer, you will realize the truth that all chosen souls eventually learn. It was never really about the destination. It was always about the becoming. You have become, you have arrived. And the heavens rejoice, for the promise has found its home in you. And when that day comes, the world will tremble, not because of destruction but because of awakening. The heavens will seem to breathe differently, and the ground beneath your feet will hum with anticipation. You will feel it before you see it. A whisper in the wind, a stillness in the air, a warmth pressing against your chest, as if the universe itself were leaning close to say, it's time. The moments before transformation are always the most quiet, the most uncertain, the most heavy with unspoken expectation. And you, chosen one, will stand in that sacred pause between who you were and who you were meant to become. On October 15, 2025, something mighty will rise within you, something ancient and divine that will not bow to fear or limitation. It will be the roar of every victory you've prayed for, breaking free through the walls of your waiting. It will be the sound of destiny calling your name, not softly, but thunderously, so you will have no choice but to listen. Every tear you've cried, every prayer you've whispered into the darkness, every sleepless night you've endured in silence will converge into one glorious revelation, that you were never forgotten. Heaven kept count of every ache, every seed sown in faith, every good deed done in secret when no one was watching. And now the harvest is coming. The same hands that once trembled from pain will tremble again, but this time from awe. You will see doors swing open that you once thought sealed forever. People who walked away will watch from afar, speechless, as favor finds you like sunlight finds morning. You will understand then that no heartbreak was wasted, no waiting in vain, no rejection meaningless. Each no you faced was not the end, but divine protection steering you toward the yes that carries your purpose. October 15 will not be a day of coincidence, but of convergence, when faith meets timing and preparation meets divine opportunity. Do not fear if everything in your life begins to shift before that day, for chaos always comes before creation. The soil must be broken before new life can rise. Let the shaking happen. Let the uncertainty do its work. The universe is rearranging itself for your arrival into the next chapter. Heaven is aligning people, places, and provisions in perfect order. The wind that once pushed against you will soon push you forward. The resistance was only training your wings to hold your new altitude. You will not be the same after this. The version of you that walks into October 15 will not be the one that walks out. You will feel lighter because forgiveness will have lifted the weight. You will feel stronger because endurance will have built your spirit. You will feel freer because truth will have untied the lies you believed about yourself. You will finally see what God saw in you all along, a masterpiece that needed only the right storm to reveal its brilliance. You will stand in the mirror that day, and your reflection will not just show your face but your faith made flesh. The light in your eyes will tell stories of resurrection, of the countless times you rose when you should have fallen. And the world will feel it too. People will sense something new in you. They won't be able to name it, but they will feel drawn, magnetized, inspired, unsettled, because the glory on you will be undeniable. But listen, chosen one, you must prepare your heart. You cannot receive the miracle with the same mindset that doubted it. You cannot